Okay guys, I wrote an article looking at the greatest trainers in boxing history, and in my previous video I looked at one of those trainers I named in the article, who was of course the great George Benton, trainer of Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker amongst others. In this video I'm going to look at another names I mentioned. In boxing history we often have fighters and their coaches who achieve so much success together. Their names are always linked and attached. Some examples include Mike Tyson, Cus D'Amato, Jack Cappy Blackburn, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Angelo Dundee. We can also have Manny Stewart and Thomas Hearns, Ray Arcel, Roberto Duran. More recently, Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao. Okay, so what about the man who trained, in my opinion, and in many's opinion, many people have the same opinion, who trained Sugar Ray Robinson? So why don't we know more about his trainer? So this video is going to be that man who trained Robinson, and his name of course was Harry Wiley Sr. Harry Wiley Sr. was born in the early 1900s. He did have a short-lived amateur career. Unfortunately, Wiley Sr. was hit by a taxi cab and sustained a broken leg. That of course meant his father denied him the chance to box again. But Wiley Sr. continued to hang around boxing gyms and impart his wisdom amongst the young up-and-coming fighters. In the 1920s, Wiley Sr. hooked up with a man by the name of Jack Cappy Blackburn, whom I just mentioned, who would go on to be the trainer of the great Joe Louis. Serving as understudy to Blackburn, Wiley Sr. picked up a lot of knowledge, and he also would spend time with fighters such as heavyweight great Jack Dempsey, Sam Langford and Harry Wills. From there, Harry Wiley Sr. would become a successful amateur coach, which culminated in him becoming appointed as the coach of the 1932 USA Olympic boxing team. After his career as an amateur coach, he entered the pro ranks. Of course, one of his fighters was Sugar Ray Robinson, and he also spent time in the corner of, in my opinion, the second greatest fighter of all time, Henry Armstrong. Now, Henry Armstrong was the only man in history to hold a title at 3 different weight classes at the same time: at featherweight, lightweight and welterweight. After his career with those, in the 1960s, Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali at the time, Cassius Clay, wanted to have Wiley Sr. as his coach, but unfortunately Wiley Sr. was unavailable. But in the 1970s and 1971, when Ali was back from his 3.5-year ban from boxing, Ali would sign up to fight Jimmy Ellis. And Ellis was trained by Angelo Dundee and managed by Angelo Dundee. That meant, of course, that Dundee would not be in Ali's corner for the fight. He would be with Jimmy Ellis. And that meant that Ali would hire Harry Wiley Sr. as his coach. Ali would win the fight, and he was so impressed with Harry Wiley Sr.'s teaching that he announced that he would keep Wiley Sr. as part of his team going forward for the rest of his career. Unfortunately, Wiley Sr. would pass away just a few months later in February of 1972. So that's Harry Wiley Sr., in my opinion, one of the greatest trainers of all time. A reason why he doesn't get the credit he deserves is people attribute some of Robinson's success more to George Gainsford. But Gainsford was actually more on the managing side of Robinson. It was Harry Wiley Sr. who was more on the training side. So I believe Harry Wiley Sr. Should definitely be regarded as one of the game's all-time great trainers, and he proved that as well with his work with fighters such as the all-time great Henry Armstrong. Okay, so in the next video, I'll have a look at another names in the article.